Okay, the plight of Chinese doctors is a big disappointment to every Nigerian because Buhari does not consult senators, does not consult the lawmakers. It was kind of very disappointing because at this moment, like I said, Nigeria does not need doctors from China. What Nigerian doctors are calling off is to get good equipment, to make sure that the hospital is okay for people to be able to be admitted there, to make sure that the government should give them the moral support, the financial support, to make sure that those people that they ask to stay at home will be able to have food to eat. That's what they are asking for. They are not asking you to import doctors from China. Nigerian government went and worked on his own, which is totally bad. It's not a good thing. When you think of what Nigerian government did, it's totally disappointing. I don't think that every Nigerian should be happy with this. China have created so much problem for us. China have created so much problem for Nigerians. China does not deserve to be given any chance in Nigeria. Look at how they throw away our boys in China. You look at what is happening. The president of China is totally aware of that. They knows what is happening there. They know that the Nigerians that reside in their country have been thrown out from their house. And the president did not make any speech against that. Yet, they allow their citizens to come to Nigeria. Nigeria, like I said, is a very good country. It's a country that they can retaliate. Jungle justice still happening in Nigeria. So let the government not to think that maybe Buhari assured him that all his workers will be protected. It doesn't work that way. In Nigeria, it's an open space because people can attack those people even in the hospital and kill them. So if you think that you're throwing Nigerians outside the streets and bringing your doctors in Nigeria to come and work for people will be accepted. No, African does not accept that. By the way, the tricks that bring those people to Nigeria is not supported by the senators. It's not supported by Nigerian doctors. So they have limited protection from people. So either the stupid president of China call himself to order and ask these people to stop throwing those people outside from their hotels, from their home, or those Chinese people living in Nigeria will face the consequence. You don't think about what will happen to your people. You don't think about that your people are living in Africa. You are throwing Africans away. You're throwing Nigerian businessmen away. You're throwing their things. You don't care about them in this kind of weather, in that rubbish weather. It's very hard for you to see any reasoning about Chinese people. A man who in this kind of time, a difficult time for the world, that the world is facing COVID-19, you have the heart to throw your own human being out who is not infected. You are treating them this way. How can anyone trust you to ask your doctors to come and take care of the same people you are throwing in the streets? Such a wicked people. I don't want to say this, but with what is going on, I would like Nigerian people to hold those doctors that came to Nigeria accountable and make sure that all Chinese in Nigeria account for what their president is doing there. And remember, it will be very dangerous because what happened is that some of them that invested so much money in Nigeria that have their company, they have their tractors and everything, building roads, building bridge and everything. They will lose those things. They will lose it definitely. It's something that the useless president that does not think happened to cause for his people. I so much have respect for some intelligent Chinese, but you know what? When it comes to heartless behavior, I know that Chinese are very stupid people. Very, very stupid people. I wonder why anybody would go to China to live. I can't live in that kind of useless country. Many of us know what is going around Nigeria. We know what is going around the world. The COVID-19 have brought a lot of problem. Has put many countries into lockouts. They have showed the healthcare system of many countries. Some countries are well prepared, some are not. Irrespective of how prepared you are or how good is your healthcare system, COVID-19 is a big problem. It's something that all of us, we all felt. Even here in the Western world, we all felt the problem. But let's think about it. The COVID-19 started from China. When it started from China, they locked down. They tried to cover it up. When they tried to cover it up, it couldn't work. Then, one of the doctors exposed everything to the world. At the end of the day, Chinese government decided to kill the doctor. But does that save the case? No. We see a lot of things happen in that country. Now, both the Western world, both the Americans, and every part of the world is trying to make sure they protect their own citizens over this virus. Coming to Nigeria, Nigeria has faced a bit of this problem. Nigeria has maybe lesser casualty when you compare to Western world, where you find maybe 5,000-6,000 people dying. But their healthcare system was alright. Still, they have big casualty. In Nigeria, they don't have such a healthcare system. They have also less casualty. Yes, I understand the government mind in order to protect the Nigerians. Yes, which is good in case. But again, you have to look at Nigerians' government's proactive strategy. Bringing Chinese doctors into Nigeria is not a good thing. Why I said it's not a good thing is that China is not a country that you actually cooperate with, because China is a very secretive country. China is a country that they don't give you anything for free. And Chinese have been very curious. They have been very curious about Africa. Recently we see Chinese government, Chinese people, Chinese authority throwing out Nigerian citizens residing in China. Those that came for business, those that lodge in hotels, those that pay their money in order to stay over there. Instead of them being protected, Chinese government is asking his people to throw them away. The police are forcing these people to get them tested. They want to infect them with coronavirus. Then after they infect them, they will throw them to Africa. What they want is that they should always share this around the world, which is not good. Remember that when you look at around the TV, you will find that Chinese people that are contaminated in many places of the world, they go around touching the foodstuffs, touching the roads, touching their excavators in order for others to be infected. China is a very greedy country. China is not a country that you will let to come inside your own country. We need to call our Chinese government. Chinese president himself is a coward, because having such a contract with Nigeria, for you to bring your men to come to Nigeria to come and work, to come and help people with coronavirus, why are you asking your policemen, your immigration, to go around, round up Nigerians, throw them out from wherever they are residing? You expose them to the coronavirus that you came to Nigeria to eradicate. How possible is that? How good is that? Nigerian government, I don't know what to say, because Nigerian government looks like it's very irresponsible. Nigerian government is not thinking. The Nigerian parliament is not thinking. Every country have policy. Every country have policy that guide the medical association of that country. Nigerian government went to employ Chinese doctors without a good reason. Nigerian doctors are not asking for outside help. They are asking for equipment to be able to treat patients in Nigeria. They haven't called that we need us external doctors. They ask that the government should go and import and buy them good equipment so they can be able to treat ordinary Nigerians. They can be able to practice what they study in university. Nigerians have doctors all over the world, professional doctors well known everywhere in the world. So if those doctors in Nigeria are fed up, they think they need an extended doctors. Our Nigerian doctors outside, those that are affiliated to Nigeria, may come back to Nigeria to support them. But in this case, Nigerian doctors went and import human from China to come and take care of their own people. How good is that government? The government does not reason. The places that need human is people like Western world. Western world say that their doctors are being exhausted. They need doctors to come over, not Nigeria. Nigeria need equipment to work on, not human being. And to say the least, not human being from China, where the infection have been, originated from. I call it China virus, like Donald Trump. We have to.
Chinese virus.
The epidemic coronavirus started from China. To me, it's a China virus. It's China virus that have been causing trouble everywhere in the world.
It's not racist at all, no, not at all. It comes from China. That's why. It comes from China. I want to be accurate.
Think about this, that China has hidden motive. China is a very secretive nation that I'm so much curious and so much doubtful that those people that came to Nigeria as a doctor are doctors. They are probably intelligent officers that came in for their selfish interest, that came in with virus in order to inflict everyone in Nigeria. Nigerian government should be held responsible. All the Senate members should be held responsible. How can such a thing happen without being passed through the Senate in Nigeria? What is the Nigerian senators doing? How will they defend this? That government went and passed law without nothing. So does that mean that Nigerian House of Assembly is not working? Nigerian Senate is not working. President Buhari is the most useless president Nigeria ever have. Osubayo is the most useless vice president that Nigeria ever have. Nothing works in the country. No respect of law, no consultation. Everything about the country is just messed. How overnight somebody will just go to China and import human beings with virus to the country that have not witnessed much of the loss? Even Nigerians are still doubting if COVID-19 is in Nigeria. Then now today you see Chinese people coming over to treat who? What information do they have? What is the statistic? Nigerian government does not have all those things. You know, we shouldn't create problem where there's no problem. The problem at hand now is that Nigerians living in China has been kicked out. Nigerian government's responsibility is to summon the ambassador of China into Nigeria, summon them over and ask them what is going on. Why will my citizen be kicked out in your country? These guys, from my own information, they commit no crime. They live like normal citizens. They dare to do their business. Some of them are students. I don't care if other Africans are involved. Yes, we are all Africans. We have to speak for them. You know, the ideas are normal. Most of them have their legit paper. Then why? Remember that we have a lot of Chinese in Nigeria, a lot of China market. So how will they feel if Nigerian people should take this law into their hand and went around to burn Chinese-owned business? Every Chinese they see, they will kill them. Many Chinese in Nigeria have invested so much money, and people will just go and throw them away and say, okay, go away. We are having your company. We are having whatever you have invested your life into. How will they feel about that? How will they feel that those Chinese that are building bridge and building everything, that people will run, the villagers will run to them and take their goods and take their machine, you know, and kick them out, even kill them? Remember, Nigeria is a place that jungle justice works very well, perfectly. Those people in China that you are throwing away, you don't know, most of them have their relatives in the village. Africans are, you know, tagged up like you guys are tagged up in China. Those people that you're throwing on the street there, you never know how many Chinese people are living in their rural area. Even though it's one Chinese person, they will gang up and kill that person. So China does not think. They've forgotten that every nation you go to, you find a lot of Chinese people. The president of China is the most coward and useless idiot I ever see in my life. He doesn't think, because if he has good mentality, he will know that there's a problem for them to tackle an African. China is everywhere in Africa. When you go to Uganda, you go to Kenya, every part of Africa, you find a lot of Chinas. And they are not doing good business. Most of them are doing illegal business. They are printing Nigerian currency. They are bringing fake money in the country. They are bringing fake drugs. They are bringing fake materials. They are actually building substandard bridges. They are building substandard buildings. Everything they build does not last more than 1 year. It will cram down. Just that because we Africans, they are not, you cannot executing them. They cannot do this in the Western world. And African leaders are very, very, very stupid not to question these people, not to interrogate them. A lot of Chinese have been caught bringing in fake money in the country. A lot of Chinese have been caught bringing in contrabanded goods. A lot of Chinese have been smuggled from other countries, you know, inside Nigeria. You ask yourself, why is the president doing this to the people? Why can't the president allow the cost of justice and law to take place? Go through your parliament, pass this law from the Senate, from the House member to the Senate, just from the law. Normal way, the laws have been read 3 times. You read from the upper house, then you go to Senate. Senate passes it, then you give to the president to sign up. You bring to Senate. Buhari chooses to do this on his own. The Northerners are backing him up. I don't know, not all Northerners, because, you know, if this virus break out in Nigeria, the Northern Nigerians will feel the impact so much, because the Northerners, they are always proud. They have a lot of alamajiris. So the president, if he's trying to do this for selfish interest or to cover up their ass, they should know that the consequence will be high. The death devastating will be very high. Chinese does not have any African interest. The only interest Chinese have in this world is to see that they eliminate the blacks. Look at how the president of China will not tell me that he's not watching television. He have not heard. His intelligence officers have not told him that Nigerians, that the Africans residing in China have been thrown out in the streets in such a weather. What kind of human being is that? If he's not barbaric, today all Africans, we can order them to throw away each and every Chinese in Africa. They have invested so much money too. So if we throw them away, we profit a lot from them. But we should not use injustice to judge injustice. China president should be held accountable. Nigerian government should make sure those doctors that they send from China will be kicked out immediately. Nigerian doctors are calling for equipment. They are not calling for human. They are calling for equipment to be able to practice their work very well. They want higher standard of scanning. They want good laboratory where they can test these people. They want, upgrade equipment. They'll be able to have access to medications. Although we have not found, authentic medication for coronavirus, but still, they want to get the basic place to make sure that where they are working is what safe for them. You have to create environment that is safe, clean. The nurses last time in Enugu State, they went on strike because there's no much things happening there. A man went to Abuja hospital. He couldn't be able to be admitted because there's no doctor working there. There's nothing because the equipment is not working. We just throw people away there. So when we say COVID-19, we need doctors to have the necessary equipment. Yeah, if they have the equipment and Nigerian doctors are struggling, they will call out for you and say, sir, we are struggling, then we need other manpower. Then you can extend your distance to China or to other side in the world that extended it. But at this moment, what Buhari government have done is just what we call barbaric and stupidity. Chinese are tough people. Your people have been killed in China, your people have been thrown away in China, and you're bringing China doctors in Nigeria. What a stupidity is that? That's a very, very hopeless idiot leader. I look at their president who look like, imbecile, allowing people to molest the, innocent people that came to the country for business or maybe has a shop there or maybe doing their business or students. This time around they are not into crime. There's nothing like crime involved here. You just deliberately want to infect those people. I give credit to Americans who have been trying to help those people out anyway. But Nigerian government, instead of you going there to take your citizen back home, you are importing China to bring the coronavirus in Nigeria. Other countries like Australia are bringing their people back home. China did not accuse people like Italy that have highest casualty, America that have highest casualty, Spain, France, UK. Why are you accusing Africa? How many people in Africa have it? Because you find it easy for you to molest the Africans. Because you find it easy that the African presidents are very stupid. They could not speak for their people. That's why this stupid man called their president should come out and order the mandatory test of Africans, mostly Nigerians. If they refuse, they kick them. Even those that accepted, they kick them out of their house. Why? You people are very stupid. I hate Chinese, everything to do with Chinese. I hate them. Because what they are doing now, nobody should rise up and say, communists, the Nigerian government allowing them to come in there is just one of the most stupid idea that any president can have in Africa. You did not consult the Senate, you did not consult the House members, then you have let them there. I also always have this question I ask people, what are the work of the Nigerian senators? What are the work of the Nigerian House of Assemblies? These people does not know their right. What they came there is to just embezzle money, steal money, and what they steal is not even money, crappy things. Because if they have good investment in the nation, they can make more money. They can make more money more than what they are stealing every day. You steal money to buy a car. In the Western world, you can go and buy a car with, pay 10 years time. Those crappy things you guys are buying and say it's a car. Because of those things, you say you're right. Your family, your great mama, your brothers and sisters will suffer the consequence. Buhari president is the worst president Nigeria ever had. Osibajo is the worst vice president Nigeria ever had. I always question, are you sure that Osibajo is a professor? Osibajo should make it clear his credential, because from what I see, there's no atom of scholar, academic scholar in him. He's the most useless vice president Nigeria ever have. How can Nigeria, this parliament Nigeria have, this vice president Nigeria have, this Senate president, House of Assembly leader, all of them are the most useless people we'll ever see. There's no idea in Nigeria, there's no idea being communicated. Buhari will just wake up and sign something and ask Chinese to come in. To do what? Nigerian Medical Association asked the president to give them more equipment to work so that they can be able to take care of the patient, so that they can be able to treat people very well. Nigeria has one of the highest trained professionals in medical field. They have one of the highest trained professionals in psychologists, all those areas, you know. Why can't Chinese send their men to America, send their men to Italy, send their men to UK, send their men to all these places that's having higher casualty? Why Africa? Why Nigeria? Nigerian doctors did not tell you that they are, the case they are having is overwhelming to them. They only ask for equipment. So why are you bringing Chinese people? It's so disturbing to see that, honestly. You know, like we said, when you look at all the whole things, you look at all the whole scenario, you know, you understand that it's kind of very funny. I can't hold what is going on. I'm so emotional. It's very hurtful. It's very hurtful that you see things are still going the way it's going, you know. I ask myself, what will you think? What will you think? Why would people behave this way? It's not good. It's not good. We have to live. We live in a place that's here. You look at the whole things, you begin to ask yourself, why? You know, what happened now is a very big thing. Everybody is struggling, trying to get themselves together. But when we saw the whole thing going on that way, you know, we feel like, oh my God, I don't know why this and that. Take good care. Lord Obi, the future you see.